What's up, YouTube? Hope all's well with everybody. Grab you a cup of coffee, grab you some tea while we chop it up real quick. Just a little bit, something to think about. You might not have been told this. It might be in your spirit to understand this, but you might have not been told this and not have known that, there's a wisdom that instructs you to have a certain way of thinking about certain topics. Right here is the man and the woman. One of the greatest topics we will always be pondering throughout life. So check this out. In one of my favorite books, the Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7. Chapter 7, verse 25 and 26. Marry thy daughter, and so shall thou have performed a weighted matter. But give her to a man of understanding. So for the fathers, those who have daughters, you know what I'm saying? It was traditionally for the husband, for the father to set the daughter up with the right type of man. You know what I'm saying? He would know all other husbands who had sons, and he would know the stock and the mentality of those particular sons. But in this day, we don't move like that, but we still can learn and get wisdom from it. So those fathers, when you have daughters, you're supposed to be in your daughter's life knowing who she's dating. Okay, so we're not in a situation where, you have a father. You're supposed to be able to get advice, from men that respect you, your uncle, your foster dad, your brother. Women, you're supposed to be taking advice because men know men. Men know men. I remember there was a time where someone had asked me, a female had asked me, to give me my idea of the guy that she was interested in. I just said, hey, okay. They were going to the store. I said, let me go to the store with y'all. And so while I was in the store, I had just peeped him out, peeped the vibration, how he moved around her and all that. And she haven't even kissed him yet. And by the time we came back to the house and she got my opinion on the situation, I told her, no, don't get with him. Don't get with him. And she ignored it and ended up having 2 kids with him. And she's just a baby daddy. He's just not even a baby daddy. He's just a donor. You know what I'm saying? Now she's raising children without a father, because she didn't take heed to the wisdom that I had given her. You know what I'm saying? Because men understand men. Men understand the vibration and how a man would feel about a woman. So she didn't take that advice, and now her children are without a father, and actually he's just a bum. So, it's important that women would seek advice from men with understanding and actually take the advice. The next scripture. Hast thou a wife after thy own mind? Forsake her not, but give not thyself over to a light woman. This is one of my favorite scriptures because you can meet women. The scriptures talk about do you have a wife after your own mind? Meaning, do you have a woman who thinks like you, who has the same constitution that you have, who move with a certain level of conviction like you have, who have similar diets, similar passions. Those things are important. You know what I'm saying? Because you can end up having children with this woman and she doesn't want to raise the children the way you want to raise the children. So there's confusion. There's confusion and the whole foundation of how you guys move because you didn't choose a woman after your own mind, having the same constitution, the same convictions. Whether you're a Muslim, get you a Muslim woman. Whether you're Christian, get you a Christian woman. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times the conflict of interest comes and you guys need to have something in your relationship bigger than you. You need to have that one common denominator that is in your relationship that is more important than the children. It should be you guys' belief, you guys' a set of principles that will govern your relationship that when somebody does something wrong, you guys can go back to the foundation of your relationship, look at the scrolls of you guys' way of thinking, and let that be the final determination. If you're not moving like that, then you're in a world of trouble, because you can have a spiritual outlook and she can have a worldly outlook, and it's just going to clash, and it's going to be doomed, and it's just a matter of time, and it's going to be ultimately your fault, man, because the scripture says, "Hast thou a wife after thy mind?" You're responsible to getting a woman after the type of way you think. And if you compromise, then that's on you. It's all on you as a man. You have to test that woman. She might be like, "Oh yeah, I like that. I'm like this." Well, it's your responsibility. If you got a constitution, a way of thinking, then it's your responsibility to put her to the test. It's your responsibility to put her to the test to see if she really is what she says she is. And women, you also. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody could say one thing. How you gonna say you're a Christian and you don't know 3 scriptures to save your life? Stop the cap. Realize that she ain't the one, and keep it moving. But what happens is we be so lonely, we be so full of lust that we begin to compromise. And then next thing you know, you've got yourself a wicked woman, or next thing you know, you got yourself a wicked man, and the relationship is going to be a waste of time. And you mess around and get children out of that wasted of time. And you guys have your own self to thank for that. The latter part of that precept, it says, "But give not thyself over to a light woman." What does it mean not to give yourself over to a light woman? A woman who doesn't take time to educate herself with convictions. A woman that has no type of understanding of realizing, especially in this day, a man has feelings too. A considerate woman, a thoughtful woman. If these women are not thoughtful that you're considering dating, let them go. Don't give yourself to a light woman. "Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, I wasn't even thinking. I'm so sorry. I thought that, you would be okay with me going out with my girlfriends and all that." No, get yourself a woman who considers you. Get yourself a woman who considers her creator, who considers her diet, her consumption, what she watches, what she reads. Don't give yourself over to a light woman just because she's attractive, and since she is so attractive, she never had to build her internal welfare, her eternal way of thinking. She has no fear of God. She's not going to have no respect for you. So you give yourself to a female that, basically, let's keep it simple and respectful. Don't give yourself to a light woman. No understanding, no depth, no proper ability to reason. She's just being tossed left and right by her emotions. You find yourself with that type of woman, you have yourself to think, because in the scriptures, it gives you wisdom and advice on how to choose a partner. Men and women, we think differently. But you're supposed to choose a woman that has similar way of thinking. Why? Because the scripture said, it suggests you to. You don't have to pay attention. And now you find a lot of people who don't even read or don't even pray or develop themselves, and they only attract undeveloped people as well. Because a developed woman is not going to take no simple-minded man. And a developed man is not going to take a simple-minded woman. They're both abominations to each other. So they're not going to settle for that. So keep that in mind. Hast thou a wife after thy mind? What is your mind? I'm respectful to the Most High. I respect my family. You know what I'm saying? I believe in saving. She always want to spend. That ain't a woman that think like you. Oh, I want a fit, feminine, female, whatever the case may be. That slogan that everybody uses. Fit, feminine, friendly. If that's what you want, and she never works out, but she got a nice body and she never work out, that don't mean she's fit. She wear dresses, that don't mean she's feminine. She's cutting you off in your speech. That ain't a feminine attribute. Her whole stock is in her careers and all that. That's not a feminine attribute. You understand? That's not a feminine attribute. You know, in the scriptures it says we're cursed to have to work. So if a woman is more focused on working and putting pride in her work, she's embracing a cursed way of living. Think about that. If men are cursed to work all the days of their life and their desires is to focus on their career, you mean you've already focused on living a cursed life, because it's a blessed life to live in harmony, live in peace as a woman under the leadership of a man. Something to consider. Because check this out, all women in this society, majority of them want a traditional type man. One who provide, protect, love, and all that type of good stuff. But they're not willing to reciprocate their roles. So don't give yourself over to a light woman. And remember, if any women are listening to this, at the beginning of the first scripture of 25, marry thy daughter and do so, and so shall thy have performed a weight matter. Give her to a man of understanding. Women, choose a man of understanding. Just because he's handsome, just because he got a legit job, just because he says all the right things and he's paying for your dinners and you've been lonely for a while, does not mean that that man has true understanding of life or even on a path of understanding of life. What that man's probably learned is a few manipulative tactics that work to get him the pleasure that he seeks. If he doesn't know what's going on in the world, he doesn't have any type of respect and understanding of nature, he doesn't understand how to save, he doesn't understand how to comfort. You understand? There's so much that a man's supposed to bring to the table besides taking you to dinner and being dressed well and having a nice car. And the thinking woman, and my channel is for the thinking man and the thinking woman, no matter what level of thinking they are on, as long as they're putting forth their thinking, is just something to consider. So with that, I'm gonna finish this coffee. Enjoy the rest of my morning. I hope all is well with everybody. Y'all take care. Peace.